So today it's back to a bit more reality. It's a Rotel 240, which I also promised you we were going to be doing. We've put a few others in, otherwise it would have been Rotel 240 after Rotel 240. You find my Rotel 240 for service and alignment. As far as I'm aware, there's no repairs needed on this radio, but I suspect it's been messed with at some point. It's definitely been owned by somebody. Have a look at the other side of the printed circuit board, he says. He said he sold it as nearly new, but he doesn't think it is quite. Fine. It hasn't had that much use, but the use it has had has involved changing the channel a lot. You can see how shiny the channel knob is, but the other knobs aren't. So someone's just sat there changing channels for about 3 years. So I think that looks like about 3 years use to me. It's got a not so good scratch on the top. Yeah, I mean it's not nearly new at all, is it? It's certainly in lovely condition. It's 40 years old, but there you go. Right, so we'll get our standard test mic, which is where I threw it yesterday. And we'll make sure this is set to put the power on. There was no reason to start it slowly. So RF gain, mic gain, high tone, normal, that, normal, CB, there we go. So let's see how it's doing. Picture in picture on. Transmit test. Wow, that banged across on the 3 watt scale. It's 4.2 watts. Frequency, test set's been on fine. Frequency, I'll show you that. 2779104. I mean, it's absolutely fine, but I will just pull this up to 125, seeing as it's here. Deviation. Whoa! Yeah, that's fine if you want to talk on 3 channels at once. And let's see how the receive is. Show you we've got the 12 dB point there, and then I'll show you the attenuator. So at 1.6, 5, 6, it's just between there and the first gradation. So it is 0.61 microvolts for 12 dB sine. So we should be able to improve that. I mean, sometimes they'll come down to 0.3, very unusually, but they will. So we'll start by taking the normal side off. I will examine the printed circuit board as I've been requested. I mean, that shows heavy mobile use, doesn't it? You know, yeah, it's been looked after, but it's not nearly new. You just probably paid a nearly new price. I think whenever you're selling anything on eBay, you've just got to take loads of photos, and not with a potato camera built into a dodgy mobile phone. There's me for talking, I don't even have a mobile phone. But, you know, you've got to take some good pictures, and you've got to take a lot of pictures, and anything which isn't quite there. You'll actually get more bids with your honesty than you will by trying to mask things. So pop the speaker off, and I'll place that on my piece of polystyrene, which just happens to be there on the right. And can I see anything dodgy? Well, I can't at this stage, so that's good. So we'll start with the VCO, and then I'm going to take a lunch break. Running a bit late today, I had to take the vicar to the railway station. Start on channel 40. And I picked up a parcel. Somebody sent a parcel requiring a signature. Just be aware that it's not ideal to send parcels requiring a signature here, because, and it's going to be a repair, because there's nobody likely to be here when the post comes. So, and that's in what happened yesterday. And then, of course, I've got to go 15 miles to go and collect it. And I can't always do that in the time scale that it will be returned to the sender. Because I'm not actually going to go out, you know, as a special trip. So, what we're looking for straight away is 4 volts on receive. Well, I'll just give that the tiniest little turn. That's absolutely fine where it was. Right, now we're going to transmit. And we should be able to. I'm not even showing that what we're doing, what we're trying to do. I'll put that on there. I'll put that on there. You can now see the meter. So 4 volts. Going to transmit. Should also have 4 volts. Well, we haven't. We've got 4.5. So we need to adjust the red trimmer. Failure to do this, you end up with channels dropping out. Be like a new Midland 78 Plus multi, like we've got in all the vehicles. Channels dropping out when it's not 60 degrees. Back to receive, back to transmit, back to receive. That's fine. Go to channel 1. We should have between 1.8 and 2.5, and on transmit, there we go. Yeah, that's now set right. I don't think that would have malfunctioned with it as it was, but whilst it's here, it's prudent to do that. So we'll just pop it on frequency. On channel 20. Do, and we'll just tune up the, put that crocodile clip of Mr. Chippy's over there. So peak, so we're doing 4.2 watts. I don't think anybody would be going to prison for that extra 0.2 of a watt, but it's not ideal for the set's health. So maximum, that already was at maximum, which is far from ideal. Maximum, maximum, so it's actually only doing 4.5, probably because it's been thrashed. So the procedure is that the L4 we dropped to 4.4, which is only a fraction down from the 4.5 it already was, and then that's anti-clockwise. Hang on, have I got this wrong? Probably have. Haven't done one for 2 days, you know, I'm not likely to remember, am I? So clockwise for 4.4. So is that where I had it? No. So I've got that the wrong side because of my memory. And this is anti-clockwise for 3.8 watts. But we will be setting it for a full 4 watts. Like that. I'm showing you the wrong camera again. A full 4 watts like that. And then we will just check it on the band edges. Channel 40 is 3.9 something watts. Channel 1 is 4 point something watts. We'll try that all again, but I'm going to take a lunch break in between. Right, so although that's within what is expected 0.1 of a watt, see if we can just do it better than that. So we'll start again. Maximum. 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 Just see if we're at a false lock point, because this seems further down the core seems further down than I would expect. No, it isn't. So once again, check the peak. Clockwise for 4.4 watts. Anti-clockwise for 4 watts. And let's have a look again. So channel 40, 3.95-ish. Channel 1, 4. So sorry, 3.95 as well. So tell you what, we'll go back to channel 20. And we'll just pop this up a fraction by going anti-clockwise. Sorry, we'll pop this up a fraction by going clockwise. So now we're about 4.0 something on channel 20. On channel 40, smidging away from 4, and channel 1 marginally over by just a smidgen. So I think that's about as balanced as we're going to get it. Normally they develop a bit more power than this and it's easier to set up. This may be because it's been thrashed. So to do the deviation, I'll just do that and then we'll go back to the some of the transmit setup. Just want that to a central position. This deviation's all over the place. So that's now where I want it to be. We'll get the little oscillator out. See where that is now. Wow, a little bit too low. Try it there. Wow, that's spot on. Transmit meter. Saying 4.5, so we'll just pop that to 4. Remember, this has to be done with a dummy load. That's built into our test equipment here. Can't do it on an aerial. Low power. Let's see what that's reading. 90 milliwatts. We'll bring that up a bit. Bit dirty, that control. Oh, that guess was 400 milliwatts. So that's that sorted. Back to normal. So we've been recently seeing what public address sounds like on sets. So we'll try it on this one, and it'll be the mic gain that controls the volume. Second one along. Oh, I've got it. I've got the instrument speaker plugged in instead of the speaker on the wall. Testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. So your volume varies with the mic gain on this type of set. So just go back to CB. Checking RF gain is at full. Right, so we'll start off by making sure that we've got the detector set. And there's the oscilloscope, put a 100 microvolt equivalent signal of S9 on the signal generator and enough volume so I get a meaningful trace there on the oscilloscope. Adjusting that coil but not with that trimming tool. That was absolutely spot on as it was. Now we'll go on the synad meter to do the rest. So attenuate it to about 4 dB, see if we can gain anything out of it. The answer is yes on the first coil. I can change ranges now. And on this set, of course, you get the extra receive circuit. That's already correct. Bigger signal for these others. Bigger signal still. Go back to a tiny signal. This has really been fiddled with. Let's see how that reads. So there's our 12 dB position. So we'll go back to the attenuator control so you can see for yourself. There's the 1, so there's the 3, and there's the 4. So it's 0.39. So that's an improvement dramatically. we put the signal generator onto an equivalent S9 signal, and we'll set the meter to read S9. It's virtually bang on. And now we'll set the squelch. So turning the squelch to full, I want the radio to open up when I hit an S9 equivalent signal of 100 microvolts. So we're at 1, 3, 10, 30, 100. Bang on. It's exactly where it wants to be. So we haven't had to adjust the preset there, which is the squelch preset. So we'll now check the squelch at the opposite end. So I'm parking the signal generator at 0.3 of a microvolts and putting it to standby, turning the squelch on the radio to threshold, switching the signal generator back on. We'll see when it comes in. I don't think I did very well setting the squelch threshold. Let's try again. It's better. 0.95 of a microvolt, leaving it 0.85. So not the best squelch in the world, but adequate. That's it. We're done. So I'm going to put the lid back on this side, and we'll have a look at the other side as requested. I'll just turn it off, may as well. So what I'm going to do is take the screws out of here and put them there, though not tightly. The next, the mystery benefactor, Alan in North Lincolnshire, has sent us another package for which we're very grateful, thank you. And this time the main item in there is one of those power supplies, the Taiwanese ones, the type that got banned and the type which I reproduced, and we actually made 10 of them. So yeah, that's very welcome, thank you, and we'll do a video on that, on sorting that out and making it safe and legal. But I think what we'll do next, we've got a Midland 2001, which I think also came from Alan, and I inadvertently bought an illegal AM one, and I'm going to compare the two for case sizes, so we can find out whether everything fits. So let's have a look at this. So I think that'll be the next video. Will be Midland 2001. Check these are tight while we've got the lid off. We don't want any microphony. Bit there, bit there. So you got one or two afterthought components on these. No, it's absolutely fine. Good. So we'll put the other screws in. So the idea is we need to tighten these as we push the case parts together, so they're all nice with the gap. Right, well there we are. So we'll take the test equipment off, we'll disconnect the test equipment speaker, check we've got sound from the internal speaker, we have, and we'll plug the aerial in instead. about 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. TX and RX lights working. 19 a Roger. One down a Roger. No, we'll do a scratchy corner test on that later. Oh, it said a bit of something. That'll be 35 miles away at Nottingham. So there you have it. The Rotel RVC240 from 1981 using the Cybernet 134 chassis. Thanks for watching.